Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another live stream. The international break is done. The Premier League is back. Things are on the up. And in today's show, you can see I'm joined by the man himself, Saeed. Bro, thank you for coming on. Appreciate it as always. How you doing, mate? Obviously, a lot's been going on at United like over the break.
Yeah,
Bad news in terms of the Glazers and Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Jadon Sancho situation as well, being left out the team photo. We'll dive into all that. But you got a win against Brentford just before the break, which, all right, probably papers over a few cracks, but a win's a win at the end of the day. As I know from like tough times last season, you got to take
yeah,
what you can when things are tough. But you feeling a bit more positive heading into these next fixtures after this break?
yeah. No, I'm like I said, I'm feeling a bit more positive, feeling a bit more rejuvenated. I feel like for me, it's almost like it went so bad. Like, how low can it get more? If you know what I mean.
Yeah,
So I feel like this is the time now to kind of almost turn the season around. Like, you know what I mean? Like before, obviously, we've had what we could have had more losses than wins throughout the whole season had we not won against Brentford, which would have been absolutely crazy to even think of. But yeah, man, I'm just hoping that we can get something from Sheffield and kind of move on, just get the wins in, man, because wins only bring confidence and wins just kind of make it less toxic, man. Because you know, like me, like it's so bad when you're losing games, like you start
terrible, mate.
fighting over each other, you start shouting, you start blaming everyone, you start blaming the dinner lady, you start blaming the steward. You know, everyone's getting the blame, man. So, nah, man, I'm just looking forward to a bit of normality, you know what I mean, and a bit of like focus now. Now that the season's back on again after this international break, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose particularly for your boys as well, mate. Like, obviously, with the ownership news as well, not the news that you lot wanted over the international break. Probably
No,
probably the worst news in terms of United from an ownership perspective. We will dive into that a little bit later on. But I want to start with Jadon Sancho, mate. Obviously, we know the situation. We don't need to go into it loads. But what did you make of the fact that he was left out of the team photo yesterday? That's a bit mad.
yeah,
Surely that
it's
just
a bit
means
too much for me.
he's done
If
now.
I'm
He's
being honest,
finished.
yeah, he's done, man. If you're not in the team photo, you are done, mate. You know what I mean? It's like the manager don't want you anywhere near anyone. It's officially done. He said what he said on social media. The manager's absolutely livid. He's mortified, and that's it, man. If you can't get in a team photo, which I still think it's very, very wrong in a sense, because it's like if you are part of the team, you don't still need to have a team photo, right?
Yeah.
That would make sense, but. And I'm surprised John Miller was allowed that, to be honest with you. But I feel like right now he's living a bit of, you know what, I can't really do much. Ten Hag is a man. We need to back this man. We need to make sure he's okay. And ultimately, they're looking after his guy. They're back in his corner. But I do think it's a bit too much. I think, you know, you could have easily put him in a squad photo and told him, right, go back now. You know how you just gotta, you know, that day where, you know, there's a family gathering, and even though you don't like the other
You
part of the
still
family,
invite him.
you've got to, yeah, you still got to invite them, and they still got to turn up and do it for the family. Do it for your little brother, whoever's birthday it is. Make sure we're friends on that day. After the day, you go back to being enemies or whatever you don't like. But right now, you don't do that. So I would have thought that would have happened, but obviously, it's not worked out in that kind of way, and the manager's not happy. You know what I mean? He's still not happy, mate. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's peak.
yeah, it's mad. I mean, I don't want to sort of go on about bad transfers because we've made a lot of poor ones over the years,
Yeah,
big money. But
yeah,
if we're being serious, bro, like, mate, this one's bad. This is a
yeah.
bad
Bad,
one.
bad.
This is a bad one. The
No,
fact
no,
that
bad.
like the fact you chased him for 2 years, you know, obviously didn't get him the first season, the first summer you tried to get him, then you got him the following summer. Big money, come in with a big reputation. Do you know what, mate? I don't feel like from a United perspective, I don't really care that he's flopped or anything. But on a personal level for him, I actually feel
Yeah.
sad for him because like I watched him a lot at Dortmund. Like phenomenal player, like really exciting, bags of ability in that. He's got his move to the Prem, and you'll know better than me, but he ain't done much. He's not done much, like
No.
massively under-delivered. Now, what do you put that down to, bro? Do you think it's on him? Do you think it's on the managers he's worked under? Do you think it's on not being in the right system, not being trusted? Like, why do you think this has gone so badly?
I think it's a bit of everything, to be honest with you. I think it's a culmination of a lot of things. Obviously, he's been inconsistent for 2 years. That's one thing as well. We can't hide away. You know what I mean? The reality is the reality. You know what I mean? He's been inconsistent. But also there has to be an element from himself as well. Has he done enough? Has he done enough in the environment that he's been in there? But we just killed talent, man. You know what I mean? We've we've got a lot of talent that's come through this door, and most of them are flopped. Only Rashford, you would say, has kind of obviously he's been a youth player, so it kind of it's one of them. It's a bit difficult with him, but everyone else, it's been a case of especially forward line as well. Mason Greenwood. You know what happened with that one?
Yeah, yeah.
Anthony's coming through the door again, not hit
He's
the
been
corner.
crap, hasn't he?
Alexis Sanchez, Depay, Di
Martial.
Maria, this Martial. You could argue as well. The last couple of years as well has tailed off as well. He had a good, you would say, 3-4 years, and then he kind of tailed off
Mate,
like
he's hanging on
since
for that
lockdown.
He's hanging on for that Ballon d'Or clause.
Ballon d'Or calls me. I'm telling you, man, it's crazy. But like, you know what it is though? It's like I feel like it's one of them where you kind of have to understand that this is what's happened now. And Sancho has not done enough. Ultimately you can blame everyone else, but have you done enough in them 2 years you've been here? You know what I mean? So the
Has he
first
had enough
season,
chances?
this season I'll probably say no. But the 2 seasons before that, I would say, yeah, like I think he has had chances. Obviously, the 3 months in the season of Ten Hag where he went away, it's difficult to kind of measure that season because he came back. It was almost like, what, he's 3-4 months out. I mean, what could you really do in that regard? But with the situation of the first year, he had that season where I think Ragnick came in and he kind of shelved and he excelled in that period.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
apart from that, it wasn't great. So I can only say, you know what, he should do better. That's all I can say. Ultimately, he has to do better. What there's no more manager can be maybe harsh and not playing certain positions and whatnot, and you might not like it, but ultimately, if you are being given chances, then you've got to take them, man. It's very difficult now for players to get chances and then expect no one else to come in and show you up. Now Palestri's available, Ahmad's gonna come back.
Garnacho.
Anthony's obviously still there. Garnacho's there. You know, you miss or you sleep, you're out, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're out the door. You know what I mean?
No,
So you've got to take your opportunities in that regards, mate.
like
So
you have to, and I think it's fair to say that he's not made the most of it. Like whether his attitude's crap or not is like his word against the manager's word. The manager's always going to be backed over a play. Like we do know that. As soon as Ronaldo was not backed over the manager, you knew anyone else that comes in that situation is not getting backed. It's not getting backed
there you
over the
go.
gaffer. So like look. Where would you rank it in I know we've had some shocking ones, you've had some bad ones as well. Where would you rank this? Because I think it's fair to say that he is finished. He's not coming back. Where would
Ooh,
you rank this in terms of kind of bad transfers for United?
ooh.
It's got to be pretty close to the top, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's at the top. It's at the top because you know what it is? It's because we were chasing for 2 years. We were chasing him in Dortmund. We were chasing him the first year as well when he came. It was 2 years. Remember, we missed out on him the first year. So
Yeah.
we had to wait another season for him to come back. So we chased him basically for 2 years and we got him in the end. So, you know what I mean? It's difficult, man, in that regards, where, you know, I can only, for me, look at it. I think, you got Maguire's, you got the Di Maria's. He is up there, unfortunately. You know what I mean? He hasn't done enough. You know what it is? There's been a couple of games where you'd be like, wow, that's Sancho. Wow, that's unbelievable. But he still hasn't had that run where you're thinking he's now back. Like, Sancho's back.
Do you think
You
he's
know,
suited to, do you think he's suited to the Premier League?
no, 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 no. I don't think he is. I think for me, when you look at the Bundesliga, with the high line, you know what I mean? And the fact that he could play that technical football, but also the defending isn't great in the German league and they leave themselves exposed. In the Premier League, it's physical. It's a lot like PMP. It's not maybe suited to this technical game. And don't get me wrong, you have to adjust yourself, but sometimes it don't work for you, man. There's been so many players where they've come here, they've flopped, and then they've gone to another league and absolutely gelled or absolutely
Bro,
shelled in that
mate,
regard.
we've had it with Morata, we've had it with Werner. Werner
Yep,
come from the Bundesliga smashing it. Didn't really do
yep.
anything for a season. He's gone back and he's doing all right again. Some players just like it's weird, isn't it? Some
Some
players just
players.
aren't suited to a certain league. It doesn't mean they're crap. It just means for whatever reason their skill set and their attributes don't lend themselves to do well in the Premier League. Like it's weird, but I think Sancho seems to be one of them.
Yep.
But mate, you think sale in January or loan? Do you think anyone? I mean, how much do you get
Uh,
for him?
I think for me, I was talking to my mates yesterday about it, and I was like, you're probably going to get 30 million. if that, for him.
Oh, that's like what
30, 40 million max.
about a 40 million pound drop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
drop. Yeah, for we pay 72 million. So you're gonna get what 30, 40 million at max. But then the problem is his wages. I don't think it's about the money, to be honest with you. It's about his wages. His wages is gonna cost you a lot. It's gonna cost you a fortune. And how do you deal with that? You know what I mean? The wages are a lot. It's astronomical, the wages, what's going on right now. So how can Man United deal with that? That's another thing as well that United have got to focus on. So it's just not only wages, you got to think about, himself as well. Do people want to see him in the team? Is it a lot of baggage? He is an extremely talented player, though. That's what you got to deal with. You have got an extremely talented player, but again, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard enough. So you've got to have the both. Has he got the both? Has he got the mentality? What's his mind frame going to be like? He went out for 3 months. So you are dealing with a lot of baggage, in that regard. So
Do
I
you
don't
think
know, man. I just
do
think,
you think the club have helped him enough? I know they gave him like 3-4 months off
yeah, they
last
did last
season,
year.
but like, do you think they've do you think he's been treated rightly, like properly by the club in terms of? It's like, man, I think this is a bit harsh, like for not apologising. I think that's a little bit. It's a little bit steep to
do
like
you, do you,
have him away from the like training on his own and all that shit. I just don't. I think it's a bit. I think it's a bit harsh. It's been going on for too long. Like you maybe a week away or whatever. Deal with it,
yeah,
and then just
yeah.
crack on again.
It depends because obviously they gave him time off last season and to kind of manage things out and whatnot and understand things and kind of see how it was going. But and they gave him that time away. But right now, this one was different. I think the manager should not have said what he said. He should not have basically called him out. In my opinion, that's my own opinion. I think he should have been kept indoors. I
Yeah,
think he should have told him face to face, "You're not training well." Brought him into a meeting and said, "Listen, fix up, mate." I don't think, or maybe people would say, you know what, that's what he needed to shake him up. That's what maybe Ten Hag
yeah,
wanted to kind of shake him up and say, yo, listen, you're not performing and you need to start performing now. So there's so many ways you can look at it for me. And ultimately, Ten Hag, I back him and I understand where he's coming from. But then again, Sancho's just defended his name. He's just said, you know what, I have been training well. I have done what I need to do. He's put a statement out, and it's looked bad on Ten Hag because it's backfired on him. And now there's a case on Ten Hag for saying what he said. So it's got ugly, man. It should never have got to this. Never ever in a million years should it have got to this. But it has, and that's where things go wrong. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean,
You
it's
do them
like
sort of stuff.
yeah. I mean, in theory, it's such an easy thing. That question, you can just go, "Oh, he's got a slight knock," and then just move on. Like he obviously bought it on himself, but you know, it is what it is. It's like signings don't work out or whatever. It's a shame because you spent a lot of money on him. He's a talented boy,
Yeah,
but you just got to move on, mate. In terms of ownership as well, obviously we've just gone through quite a big ownership change ourselves in
yeah.
the last year or whatever. You're still trying to get these Glazers out, mate. They're not going anywhere, mate. They're not going anywhere. Looks like Jim Ratcliffe's going
Uh,
to get 25%. But before we talk about that, mate, if I said, how would you have felt if Bowley and if like the Bowley takeover had gone at United? I know like you've got your views on how it's gone at Chelsea, but like having seen how it's planned out so far, how would you have felt about that potentially happening at United? Is that like a strategy you like? Is that something you think it would have been good? Is that what you'd want from new owners coming in, investment, ambition, etc.? Like, would you have liked the Chelsea takeover at United?
um, I feel like it's one of them where you know what I mean. With the Jim Ratcliffe situation right now, he actually tried to buy Chelsea
Or he
and
come in
failed
late. He
obviously.
come in. He like forgot the whole
Yeah,
process and just fucking at the end just was like, "Oh, I'll have a go."
yeah, man. He's a dodgy guy, man. I just don't really kind of like what he's doing. I don't really like the way he moves. Don't really like the way he kind of rolls. I just don't like what he does really, to be honest with you. And ultimately, it's one of them where we wanted a full sale. We wanted Jassim to come in, give us a new fresh start. Like you guys have got fresh start. I know people are emotional about Abramovich leaving, and it was hard to take, but he left, and you know what? It was for the betterment of your football club.
And we're debt
Now
free as
we just
well.
want, yeah, debt free as well. We just want a full sale. We just want a fresh new start, full sale, and move on. We don't want to be lingering around with the Glazers, and that's what the message was. That's why we don't want Jim Ratcliffe because we still got the Glazers lingering around, and that was not the plan. He should of all people know. that we do not want a partial sale. We want a full sale. And he's just took advantage of it. And you know what? It's maybe it's a little investment for him. I don't know. Maybe just always wanted to be part of Man United and just have a little bit of a stake in Man United. Maybe some people with their money, you don't know how they are, do they? You know,
Nah.
these guys are rich billionaires. So you don't know what they like to do and how they like to flex their muscles. Maybe it's just a little side project for him. And you know what? He might get a few games at United. He might feel like he's part of something. And ultimately, he may think, and he may be naive to think that, you know what, in a couple of years' time, I will be able to buy my United. I'm sorry, man. I
Or
don't think you're
but
gonna.
he hasn't got the money. He can only he's got like
You ain't got the money.
he's got money for 25%. So where's he getting money for the
That's what I'm
whole sale?
saying.
Like where's that money coming from? Like, mate, why do you
He
think
hasn't
the
got the
Glazers?
money.
Mate, why do you think they turned down that massive bid from Jassim? Because Jassim like offered well above the market value, and they why do you reckon they got? Why do you reckon they
Greed.
rejected it?
Simple. It's greed for me. It's greed. You know, I mean, that's just the only way I can put it for me. It's greed because you got to remember, Manchester United, for what the Glazers think they're worth what 10 billion. Sheikh Jassim offered double the value of Man United. He obviously wanted to change the situation at Man United in terms of debt free, etc., etc. But the Glazers don't care. You know what I mean? This guy's offered 5.2 billion, 1.8 billion in the club as well. That gives you what 8 billion in total. It's too much. And you know what? I just feel like for me, it's one of them where I just greed has got in the way of this, man. Ultimately, greed. United could have easily, the Glazers could have easily sold and come out with a huge profit from where they bought the football club from. You're making an astronomical profit.
Yeah.
But you know, sometimes businessmen, this is how they deal with, and they know that Qatar can probably play more, but because of the principle of the way Ten Hag roll, they're not. They're not. They're not. They're not. That's what they don't want. You know, so
Nice.
it is what it is.
Mate, it is mad when you think about it. All that like dragged out for months, all that process, and all they're doing is selling 25%. It is mad. But it's mate, in terms
Yeah.
of like United, in terms of like, whether they're still a pull. Like, mate, I don't know about you, but I think they're getting left behind a little bit. I'm not sure if United is as attractive a proposition as it used to be over the years. Like, if I'm a young player now, why am I going Man United? Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously the history's there and that, but you look at what we've done. You've got more history than us. You're a bigger football club than us. You always will be. But what I'm saying is, I don't think United could have attracted the caliber of player that we have signed in our situation. If you just finished 12th, in my opinion, you're not attracting the same caliber of player as us. Do you think it's less attractive proposition now?
No, I think the pull is still there. Man United are a gigantic club, you know what I mean? What you could do with Man United is crazy. What
Potential's
the
massive.
Glazers are doing is probably 1/5 or even one like a breadcrumb of what they could actually do. This is a global football club around the world. Commercially, United could do tenfolds what they're doing right now. They could build a bigger stadium. They could actually, if they wanted to, build a structure that was there to win. They could attract the best talent in the world. United can do that. But the problem is, though, it's not because it's been neglected. And that's why it's becoming as maybe not as glamorous as you maybe guys think, because the Glazers have made it like that. They've made it less attractive. They've made it, you know what? I don't really fancy this, man. It's not really nice, is it? You know what I mean? I don't really like
Bro,
this.
stadium
They've made this
falling
like,
down, training grounds
yeah,
outdated.
yeah. They've made this like this. You know, what I mean, this is because of the Glaze and how they operate. They've made it like this. So I look at it and I think, you know what, man, it's just a shame, man, because United could have been a top club. You know what I mean? It could have been a club where we could have been hitting the heights of where Real Madrid and everyone are Champions League finals, but we're nowhere near. We're a sleeping giant. You know what I mean? We are like what AC Milan used to be, and probably still are.
Was it
AC Milan,
2008 last Champions League,
yeah.
last
No,
European trophy?
2011.
No, you lost.
2011 was
No, but
yeah, in terms of
you lost though.
winning
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So
Yeah,
winning the last European trophy, 2008.
yeah.
That's
In
mad.
terms of Europa League, obviously that's just different, but
Oh, you won that,
yeah,
of
but the
course. Yeah, he did win that. That's fair. Yeah, but do you know what I
Champions
mean?
League was the biggest,
Yeah,
biggest one.
mate.
Yeah,
How? I mean, we haven't won the Premier League for since 2016, since the 16-17 season. 6 years going on 7 now. It's a little bit longer for
wow.
you guys. Mate, how far away do you think United are from getting back to winning the big trophies, like challenging in Champions League, challenging for the Premier League
Why?
title? Like, because mate, I'll be honest, mate. And this might be slightly biased. I think we'll win a Premier League before you do.
Well, that's possible. Obviously, right now it depends on how your structure goes and what you guys do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're spending at this rate and it's just spend, then I'm not sure. But you guys do have a better platform than us. Yeah, you're debt free. You got, you know what I mean? What do you call it? You got an owner who's invested in the football club. You got an owner who's passionate about bringing Chelsea back and whatnot. You've got the things there. You got a young squad. You know what I mean? Very, very, variety of squad, variety of talent as well. Chelsea, there's a lot to kind of, like about Chelsea in that regards. But, to win this Premier League, man, you've got to be really, really winners in this team. You need players who are going to be there. The manager needs to be on point. It's a manager, Pochettino, a guy who's never won Premier League before, a guy who's known to kind of really not be the kind of, the one to get you over the line. Is he the man to get you to that situation? I'm not sure, if I'm being truly honest with you. But, you got a dream, man. You got a dream. But Chelsea, I still think they're a while away. There's
I
a lot
would
that needs
agree.
Chelsea to be go. You know what I mean? Like, for me, striker, they need to get striker in for me. And ultimately, I would say still a top creator. I think they're lacking in that creativity department, maybe. I know you got Sterling and whatnot and Cole Palmer in, but I think a number 10, a strong number
Well, we
10.
got Nkunku coming back as well, so that
Yeah,
might tick
yeah.
that box. But I mean, mate, how far away do you think you are? Because like obviously, I look at United from the outside and
I
think
bet.
they're a long way away still. I know like maybe we're not that much closer, but it's kind of mad that
Mm.
you look at it now. Like we used to always finish above Arsenal, both of us, and now, mate, Arsenal are clear of us right now. Maybe not in terms of
Yeah,
winning trophies, but in terms of where they are as a team. Mate, their levels above
yeah.
at the moment. Like
Levels.
it's kind of crazy. I mean, like, do you think United are like years off winning the? When did you last win the Premier League? What, like 2012 or something?
2013.
2013.
2013,
So it's
mate.
10. So it's 10
Yeah,
years, bro.
yeah.
That could be like that could be another 10. Like no joke. Like that could be another 10.
You know what? I think it could. When you actually deep it, like you just never know because at the end of the
Don't
day,
know. Well, Liverpool went
the
30
manager.
years, didn't they?
Liverpool went 30, yeah, Liverpool went 30 years. You know what I mean? At least they went 30 years without social media. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Now we're going through it with the whole eyes and magnified on us, man.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what it is? I could easily go another 10 years. That's easy. We're already going to 11 years now. It'll be 11. Well, it's 10 years now. The next
Yeah.
year will be 11. That's the next decade. And I don't see, while the Glazers are still here, we're going to win a Premier League. It'll literally be United and, Arsenal, and Man City probably just collecting them, man. I'll be real with you. Pat Guardiola leaves, they'll probably get De Zerbi in, and
Yeah.
he'll probably win. But then again, there could be another Newcastle could come up and spend money, and they could be in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
You know, Villa, Brighton. There's some. I don't even think it's just us now. Like, there's so many teams now that will stop you from winning the league. You know what I mean? And United are in that position. So, boy, it's crazy, bro. What we've got to go through now to get
It
anything,
is,
man.
mate. It is mad. Like, because we used to win. Well, as I was saying, we were winning Premier Leagues for fun, but we were picking up quite a few here and there, like winning everything. And now, like, it's been one season where we haven't won anything.
Yeah.
It's been terrible, and it's just like you don't really know where the next trophy's coming from. Like, I mean, maybe this season we might win a Carabao Cup. I'd take that. Maybe an FA Cup. Who knows? But mate, we're fighting for one of two trophies. We're miles away from the league as well, a long way away. Like maybe in 3 seasons' time we might start challenging or whatever once this squad's kind of
Mm,
bedded in and that. But I mean, we got potential to have the best squad in the Premier League in a few years' time. Potentially, if all these players reach the levels we
yeah.
think they're going to reach, then we're going to have one of the best squads. But right now, it's kind of scary to see how two massive clubs have kind of fallen so far. And now, as you say, mate, the Premier League's so competitive now. Villas, Newcastle's, Brighton's, even
Mm,
Spurs coming back into the mix as well. Like
boy.
it's not how it used to be. Like you could pick the top four every year, and
No.
it was fine. It barely ever changed. Maybe 1 year another team got in, like
Facts.
one in 10 seasons.
Facts.
Now, mate, there's probably two guarantees for the top four. probably City and Arsenal, and then the rest,
Yep.
maybe Liverpool as well. But the rest, mate, is anyone's game. But
Yeah, anyone's game, man. Anyone's game, bro. Like anybody can go in there and collect the trophy. Like generally, like you just don't know now because back in the day there was that traditional top four, but even that now is gone, man. Because teams are just coming in and spending money now. Teams are spending money now. What you think you're spending? Teams are spending. Man, did Bournemouth spend 100 million last season?
yeah, bro,
They spent 100
you
million.
got promoted sides coming up. Sheffield United spending 20 million quid on a striker. Like it's
There you
like
go, Cameron,
yeah.
just like that, spending money. So it's peak. I can't lie, it's peak, man. But just gotta keep the faith, haven't we? Keep the faith.
Yeah,
You know what I
mate,
mean?
mate. Do you know what, mate? I've got faith in my project. You know, I've got faith in the project. Got faith in the owners, the manager, the players. But like at the end of the day, like you still got like you can't just give it excuses. You still got to You still got to get some points on the board, pick up some results. You can't just lose
Yeah,
games and be like, oh, it doesn't matter because in a year or two's time we'll be decent. Like that doesn't excuse the fact that we do need to pick up results in the short term. It's tricky because like
yeah.
obviously we know we're not ready to win every week, but there's certain games where like we should be winning regardless of the situation we're in with the new players because we've got more than enough quality to get the job done. But I mean, in terms of the new players that have come in, mate, what have you made of Anana's start? It's been a little bit shaky to say the least,
Uh
bro. He needs to fix up.
you know what? I think for me, with Onana, man, he's just bro. I didn't expect this, man. And you guys had Kepa, didn't you? Kepa was
Yeah,
another one where it was like
bro,
he
he's
wasn't great
world
as
record
well.
signing. He was world record keeper fee.
Yeah, 70 million, wasn't it?
Over 70 mil, I think it was. It was mad.
Bro, you know what it is with me though? With Onana, I just feel like for me, it's like, bro, we thought we were gonna like buy a better keeper than De Gea, but I'll be honest with you, I think De Gea was a better shot stopper than Onana. De Gea, Onana's a better overall keeper than De Gea. What you need in a modern day keeper, but bro, we need to be more than that, man. This football club needs to be more than that. Let's be real, man, guys. We need more than just modern day. I feel like what it is with me now. Like I'm sick and tired of this playing out from the back and all that. Like, why can't a keeper just be good keepers? You
Yeah.
see what I mean, though? Like, do you not agree, though? Like,
Yeah.
sometimes you just think to yourself,
Why do they
just
need to
get it
be like
long.
a
Just.
they're coming in like they need to be an extra centre back. They got to be like have the passing of an outfield player, and that keepers are training with outfield players to work on
Yeah,
their passing, their distribution. I do agree. I know football evolves, but I do agree with you to a degree, bro. Like where just like what happened to a good old fashioned keeper working on his shot stopping, kicking it
yep,
long if necessary. Like it's not hard to have decent passing as a pro footballer. Like, do we really need to be taking all these risks at the back? Like, I'm at some games, like you go to games as well, and like
mm,
you've got opposition forwards pressing down the centre backs, and you're playing a short pass to a centre back in the 6-yard box. I'm just like, what the fuck? What are we doing? What's happened? What's wrong with just going long? Like, I don't know if the goalkeeper position
yeah,
is evolving too much, and you're almost like you want a goalkeeper to be good at shot stopping, but then you want him to be like an outfield player with the ball at his feet. Like
mm.
that's come on.
You
Like,
know what it is though?
do we need that?
Yeah, I think for me, it's one of them where I like I like modern day keepers. We need that. We need
Yeah,
modern day keepers. Yeah, don't get me wrong, but ultimately, I like just a keeper just being a brilliant shot stopper, and then later on, it's down to the team as well to play out from the back. It's down to the team to because they're the outfield players. I get it, but the problem is though, Guardiola has shown that there's a new way of playing, and maybe Guardiola has that influence now on everything. Look at Guardiola now since he's been doing it out from the back, going back to maybe Tiki Taka from Barcelona
Barca.
days,
Yeah,
all the way down to Neuer, to then Edison, Bravo. Like he's just shown the way. And ultimately, he's a pioneer of football. This new playing out from the back now has come as a real result of Guardiola and whatnot. So I feel like for me, it's one of them where Onana needs to just do better saving. Everything else will come, be a better shot stopper. But you either have it or you don't. And that's the scariest bit about it. Is that you either have it or you don't. And if you don't have it, then
I
it's
mean,
it's peak.
mate, every time I've watched United this season, every time I turn a game on, he's making a mistake. Like I know it obviously it's a new league, it's different for him, etc. It takes a little bit of
Yeah,
time to settle in that, but mate, you shouldn't be making that many mistakes like this early. It's pretty much every game he's played so far. I mean, not every game, but like
yeah.
more often than not, it's more games than not. Look, I think he'll get himself together for sure. He's a good goalkeeper. We were linked with him as well. I mean, on the evidence so far, I'm kind of glad we didn't go for him. But he's not a bad goalkeeper. He's just going through a
Yeah.
difficult time right now. But at the same time, you cannot keep making those mistakes on a regular basis. And the problem is, like, there's not really another goal. Who's coming in? That guy from Fenerbahce. Like, is like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's not even if Onana keeps making mistakes, is Ten Hag really going to drop him and replace him with the Turkish guy? Do you know? Like, he probably isn't.
Yeah.
So he's just going to have to.
True.
He's just going to have to rely on him to sort of play his way out of this bad patch of form. Maybe it doesn't help that he's not got a settled centre back partnership in front of him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's another thing as well. The
Constantly
midfield
changing.
isn't balanced. Yeah, the midfield isn't balanced as well. That could be another thing as well, where I mean, we haven't got the correct midfield three in there. I understand that. That might help his cause, but if you look at it though, I was there in in Munich, and I couldn't believe my eyes. I was there at Old Trafford. You know what I mean? Against
Galatasaray was awful.
Galatasaray was awful. You know what I mean? There's so many things where you're like, damn, man, you've got to do better. Even was it Brentford? Yeah, Brentford one as well. That was bad as well.
It's weak wrists. There's weak wrists for that Brentford one.
Mate, it's got butterfingers, man. It's butterfingers, bro. That's what it is. Butterfingers, my guy. So I just wanted to do good, man, because you know what? You have to be patient with the keeper. I always said, the hardest position to fill at Man United is the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
We've only had 3 in the last 30 years that have been good. Obviously, they've been here for a while, but that maintained longevity. You guys had Czech for so many years, and then it's kind of been a bit shit, really.
We had
Caballero.
well. We had Courtois for a while.
Courtois was good. Yeah, Courtois was good. Yeah.
But it's a little bit like your goalkeeping position is a little bit like us with centre forwards. Over like 20 odd years, we've had 2 good ones, Drogba and Costa. That's been it.
Yeah.
All the money we've spent. Honestly, you're probably playing in goal for United and playing as a number 9 for Chelsea. Probably 2 of the toughest jobs in football. Like, mate, hardly any number 9s work at Chelsea. But I mean, you've been lucky. Schmeichel, De Gea. You've had longevity from these guys. Like, you've had longevity. And I think, I'm not saying Onana's going to be the United keeper for 10 years, but, I think he's good enough to be there for 4 or 5 seasons, I think. But you have to fix up quickly and stop making mistakes. I know, like, keepers will make mistakes. All players will make mistakes. But you can't make mistakes like he's making and continue to get away with it, because it's costing you a lot of points. Champions League qualification, like, out the group stage is already looking pretty difficult.
Yeah.
At the moment. Like, you need your goalkeeper to step up in big moments, and he's not doing that right now. But mate, if we look ahead to the games at the weekend briefly, obviously big one, Chelsea Arsenal. We discussed it on your channel last night.
Big game, man.
Big game, mate. Like, how do you see that one going? I mean, do you give Chelsea any chance in this?
I think I give a chance to Chelsea. I think for me, there's hope in there. I think I generally think for me, Chelsea should go out with no fear. I don't think, even if Chelsea lose, if they lose badly, of course, that's why you could be like, yo, like, relax. But Chelsea, though, I don't think it's a case of, if they lose 2-1, I don't think people are going to go look at them like, wow, these are the title challenges. I think, I said it on the Big Six yesterday, it's about the manner in which Chelsea go at Arsenal. If they go with a sense of bravery, if they go out with no fear, then you know what, I think they could do well, I really, really think they could do well. But if they go with a bit of, I would say, kind of timidness and they're a bit scared, then I think that could be an issue. I really, really think that could be an issue. So they just got to go in there, be brave, be and just not be afraid of the situation. So yeah, man, I can't lie to you. I hope it's a good game, man, because I feel like these Big Six games have been a bit disappointing. That one against Man City was very, very boring, man. I hope this one's a good one. I hope this one's an entertaining one. But your guys' record at Bridge is stinky, man.
We're shit at home at the moment. Terrible. Like, mate, even Arsenal record against us, mate. They're going for 4 wins in a row against us if they win. Like, that's.
What's your home record this season?
Oh, mate, we drew to Liverpool. The only home game we've won is Luton. We drew to Liverpool first day. We lost to Villa. We lost to Forest, and we beat Luton. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, bro, it's pretty, it's tough, mate. The record at Stamford Bridge used to be a fortress. And when Mourinho was there, mate, we went like 80 plus games unbeaten at home in the league. And now, mate, we're shit at home. Like, we are. We struggle at home. So, like, but as you say though, like the pressure's not on us. No one's expecting us to win. All the pressure's on Arsenal, so we can just go out and play our stuff and kind of see what happens. But like, I think Sterling will be key if he plays. That they experience there. He's got a decent record against Arsenal. I mean, mate, what are your thoughts on Sterling, by the way? Because he's like, obviously last season he was terrible for us, like pretty much everyone was. He had a good game against Burnley before the break. He had a good game against Luton. But what we could say is that, like, he scored goals against 2 promoted sides. Like, the reason he was bought, because he wanted to be the main guy, he's the highest paid player at the club. These are the games where you've got to step up. Like, do you think he's got it in him? Because like he's too inconsistent for me still.
Yeah, you know what it is with me? I think with Sterling, he's a confidence player. I think he really, really is a confidence player. When it's going well, he's unbelievable. He's unplayable. When it's going badly, he overthinks. He then starts to kind of almost play against you because he keeps losing the ball. You know, he doesn't get he doesn't get the impact. He doesn't get the goals. You know what? I think for me, it's one of them where with Raheem Sterling, I feel like he's got to be at his A game to kind of play for, like, you know, play well for Chelsea. Right now, it's been underwhelming so far for Chelsea. His career last season was a bit hit and miss here and there. He got goals and whatnot. But I think ultimately, you know, Sterling's a confidence player, man. When he's up and firing, you can see it. Look at it all. I think for every goal, did he not? Was he not the creator for most of your goals last Burnley? He was involved.
Yeah, bro.
Goal,
he scored. He created the own goal, and I think he got another assist as well. I think it was 2 assists and a goal. So, like,
there you go.
But
he
needs to do it against needs against the big teams, though. This is the thing. Like, this is why you sign these players, because you need them to do it against the big teams. Yeah, of course, it's good they do it against other teams, but this is what you really need. The big players do it against the big teams. Yeah. We've had big game players. We've had Eden Hazards. We've had Drogba's. Like, big game players. I look at the team right now, and I think, has anyone got it in them in a big game where not much is happening? It's tight, to have a moment of individual brilliance, or like just have a moment where they grab the game and just like, right, I'm going to make something happen. Have we got those big game players? And I look at it and I think maybe Reece James is potentially a big game player, but whether I wouldn't start him because he's not played since the first game of the season. Thiago Silva, of course, is a big game player, but he's a centre back. Do you know what I mean? Have we got have we got someone that's gonna step up and deliver in a big game? I don't know if we do at this point in time, or they've not developed into it yet.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. I feel like for me, you know, it is with your team, because it's a young team. Yeah, you don't know what you're gonna get with Chelsea. It's a pack of cards, man.
Yeah,
you know, and you know what it is. It comes down to the manager as well. Like, you don't know what he's gonna do. You don't know where he's gonna play certain 11s. You don't know what he's gonna do. Like, he's just, for me, like, so unpredictable. You know, the manager, and it comes across with the team. It is a young team. You have to give it a bit of time, but bro, you don't get time, man. You don't get time, bro. That's a problem, man. This day and age now, there is no time, and that's the issue you've got right now. So I think for me, Pochettino's a good manager. I wanted him a couple of years ago. I think he will do a good job.
He was linked with you boys, wasn't he? Like, you would have taken him.
Yeah, I wanted him before we were linked with Ten Hag. I was open
was that after Jose left? Were you linked with him after Jose?
No, it was after. No, it was when Ollie was doing bad in his second season, was it?
Ole, yeah.
And then I think I wanted him. He came on Sky Sports with the long hair, and he was like, "Yo, I'm ready if you need me, etc., etc." You know what I mean? So I feel like it's one of them where I get it in that regards. Like, you know, Chelsea, a young team, but also, you know, this Todd Bowley, you don't know what he's gonna do, though. That's the problem.
Well, mate, these
man, you don't know what he's going to
do. They want to give managers time. Like, I know Graham Potter come in, he didn't get a lot of time, but he got way more time than people expected him to get. I think they honestly, if the mood around the ground and that, and like the reaction hadn't been so bad, they would have given him till at least the end of the season. Like, these guys will give they'll give him time. But for me, mate, when you out the Champions League for one season, if one season then becomes 2, it's like, well, how many years can we afford to be out the Champions League? Like, the spending we've done requires us to get that Champions League money as quickly as possible. I'm not saying we're going to go bust or anything, but do you know what I mean? Like, we need that Champions League money as soon as possible. So you don't want 1 year to become 2 years. So look, I think he's got time. He has to have time, because this is a complete new team. It's a complete new squad. But, you know, you still have to get results. You know, we still can't be like, oh, he needs time and it's okay to finish 7th or 8th. Like, we need to be as close to that top 5 as possible. Like, we have to get the Champions League this season. So, mate, it's
I
gonna.
mean, do you think it's possible? Do you think even if he doesn't get top 4, do you reckon he should deserve to get sacked, or you
Oh
giving him
no,
another
no,
season?
no! If he doesn't qualify for the Champions League, then he shouldn't be sacked. He should still be here. Obviously, if we finished like in the bottom half, then
Mm.
maybe there's a question to be had. But maybe sometimes you just got to stick with people. If it means finishing in the outside of Champions League places for 2 seasons, but then that sets you up to be successful over the next 4 or 5 years, maybe you take it. But I mean, right now, bro, I think Champions League qualification is going to be tough for both of us. I'll be real. Like, I think we're both going to
Yeah.
struggle to get in that top 5. Well, hopefully it's top 5.
You know what it is? Yeah, it is. Obviously, it depends on the certain situations happening. You know what I mean? I look at it. I think, you know what? We have to make top 4. We have to.
Well, hopefully top 5,
You
innit?
know,
Like, mate, we need you to
yeah,
get, mate,
we
we
have
need
to
a
make top
favour,
5.
bro. We need you to get out the group, and we need Newcastle out the group as well. But you, man, are letting us down for the coefficient.
That's it.
Yeah, mate.
That's what it is.
Yeah, because like obviously they haven't decided yet. In January, the coefficient comes, so it's gonna like a part of it's gonna depend on how many teams get out of the group as well for them extra spaces. Like we should get a 5th place, but obviously if you and Newcastle, for example, weren't to get through, maybe it makes it a little bit more difficult. So like that 5th place, the 5th place is not confirmed yet. Like it should be, but it's not officially confirmed.
Wow, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. I don't know. I think for me, it's one of them where, if we don't make Champions League football, I don't know if I could do another year of Europa League football. I'd rather be like you guys.
But would you rather be Conference League, bro, or no? You'd rather have Champions League or no European
nothing.
football? Nothing.
No European
Champions
football.
League or nothing.
Yeah, Champions League or nothing. I can't lie to you, man. Europa League is not worth it. It's not even nice. It's not attractive. It's so bad, man. It's so bad.
Them group stage games are so dead.
Yeah, it's not good, man. I can't lie to you, bro. It's not good, man. It's not good.
Nice, poor mate. Last thing, what are your thoughts briefly on Sheffield United away for you boys? Obviously,
why we should win. We just got to win. I just want to see 3 points.
It could be quite tough, you know.
Bro, listen, I don't know what they do. I don't know what they are, but if we don't win that game, the season is over, mate. I'm saying it right now. Season's done, mate. Literally, I can't be asked for the season. If we lose to them, I'm done with the season. Like, even if we get a draw, like, seriously done.
You have to beat these guys, mate. They've got what, like 1 point this season?
Yeah, 1 point this season.
Bro, Newcastle put 8 past them. Like, you should be winning this.
Bro, listen, should and what one is another thing. Should be, or I want to. Like, I mean, it's crazy, bro. United should win this. Bro, it's
actually mad. It's mad. It's got to the point where you got Sheffield United away, and you're thinking, "Fuck, can we actually win this?"
And I hate the fact that it's on 8 p.m. kickoff. I wanted to watch the UFC.
Oh, is it? What is it? Saturday 8 p.m.
8 p.m. Yeah, 8 p.m. Saturday.
That's so shit. So it's going to be straight after Chelsea Arsenal.
Chelsea Arsenal. You guys can't even marinate. Yeah, you can't even marinate your win or whatever and whatnot. You've just literally got to, you know what I mean? You got to watch us straight after. So it's pretty peak in that regards, man. You know what I mean?
8 p.m. Saturday kickoff. Mate, we hadn't had any of them this season. I'm so glad about that. So glad.
Boy.
That's a shit kickoff. It's so bad.
Shit kickoff, mate. Shit kickoff.
I mean, like you should win, mate. I'd be shocked if you don't win, mate. Last thing, very briefly, it's how much pressure do you think Ten Hag's under? Like, if you go out the group stage in the Champions League, do you think he sees the season out? I know it might seem a mad thing to say, but do you think he sees the season out?
I think, you know what? The fact that we've got so much uncertainty around the football club, I think he does. I think the fact that he's got so much uncertainty around the football club, the club right now might not be wanting to sack another manager in that regards. So maybe he has his role still at the football club. But boy, you don't know. You don't know, mate. I just don't know anymore. I don't know what's the plan, who does anything, you know what I mean? So it's peak. I can't lie to you. It's peak. Peak. For me, I wanted to stay though, man. Because I like him, man. I really do, man. I really like him. I really, really like him. So
mate,
that's why I'm like,
you did a good job last season. What, 3rd place on a trophy? That's a good season in your first year at Man United. That's good. Like, things can change quickly. People got short memories. Like, whether he's the right guy long term, Whether he's long term, right? I don't know, but it would be a bold move to replace him partway through this season. But again, if it gets bad, then
Yeah.
maybe that might happen. But yeah, bro, we'll round this one out here. Thanks so much for your time
Big
as
up,
always,
man.
mate. Where
Anytime, man.
if people don't know what you're doing for whatever reason, bro, where should they come?
Yeah, Sai TV. Just follow me on there, man. And big up to you, Charlie, for having me on, man. Appreciate it, bro.
I appreciate it, guys. You probably want to check it out next Thursday. If Arsenal lose next Thursday, 6 p.m. innit? You wanna be on your channel, bro.
Definitely, man. I'm gonna throw it because Lee was talking the most.
Mate, he was running, mate. He was dropping some madness. So, like, bro, mate, he's gonna have, bro. He can't. He's gonna have to do a no show next Thursday if they lose, mate. He's finished. But yeah, no.
Finito.
But no, bro, thanks for time as always, guys. Make sure you subscribe to Saeed. Go and show him some love. Channel tagged in the title, guys. I'll be back in 10 minutes with a Chelsea Arsenal match preview live on the channel. So make sure you tune in 6 p.m. We're going live again. Smash the likes on the way out. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you again soon, people.
Come on, big up.